Hey, can we ask questions?
Absolutely. Yeah, absolutely. It's the same thing. All right, let me just get this out of my pocket, turn off my phone because someone will call. All right. So, welcome to this Bitcoin Binkx wallet presentation, right? So, let's go ahead and get started. So, what is this mysterious thing that everyone keeps talking about when they say Bitcoin, blockchain, right? What is this blockchain thing, right? Because it sounds complicated, but it also sounds like you should understand it, right? Like it's something that we should actually all understand to really get Bitcoin. So, first thing you want to understand is this. Bitcoin is not actual coins. So just get that out of your head. I know it's like a cool picture, and I actually use it because it is a cool picture, but get that completely out of your head. You want to think of it as a ledger, right? A ledger that contains every single transaction that has ever been made in Bitcoin. All right? So how does it work? There are over 100,000 full nodes. What's a full node? A full node means that the entire blockchain from the beginning of Bitcoin is being saved. So every single transaction is being saved on a computer.
Okay, that's so what a full node. Question would be, now, when did Bitcoin start?
I believe it was 13 years old, so help me out with the math here.
So
2008, right? Yeah, it was during the financial crisis that year. I know that for a fact.
That's when Bitcoin launched.
Correct.
Okay.
Correct. And it launched literally on Halloween.
Is that right?
Yeah. Literally on Halloween. We kind of celebrate two dates. We celebrate the date of the white paper and then the date of the Genesis block, the very first block in the blockchain. We kind of celebrate both. Me personally, though, I believe that the Halloween one, which is the one where the white paper was brought out. So what's the white paper, right? Yeah, right. Exactly. What are you talking about, white paper? I mean, come on. Wow. The white paper is the sheet of paper that literally explained in a very kind of complicated fashion how the blockchain works and how it will work. So all the math behind it, everything you need to code it out is actually on the white paper. We have a copy of it right around this corner.
Okay, so is that similar to when people start their business model?
Correct.
And they call it mission statement?
That's exactly the same thing. Okay. Except this one shows us the mathematical equations that we need to use versus profit margins and all that.
Okay, so on the screen here where it says what is Bitcoin, then you got this name of these people. So what are those numbers associated like with Alice?
So let's do this, right?
So what does that mean?
Yeah, so Alice has 5.3 Bitcoins. 5.3. Bob has 100 Bitcoins. Frank has 700. No, just 5.3 Bitcoins. That's why. So Scott has 0.000001 Bitcoins. He's got like 20 cents in Bitcoin, right? Obviously, this guy is rich. 700 times 20,000 right now. That's a whole lot of money, right? Wow. So now think about this. The ledger, if Carlos were to send Kristen 1 Bitcoin, right? Then she would have 2 Bitcoins and Carlos would only have 2, correct? Correct. That would all get recorded on these 100,000 full nodes across the world, right? So this is on the computer, right? So you would have to go into hundreds of thousands of computers around the world in order to be able to cheat, right? Because they got their own ledger that gets checked against them. So when they do this transaction, it gets recorded in millions of these ledgers.
Okay, so now, because Tony and I, we use technology every day. So now I noticed she talked to some people, and her first suggestion was not to go out and buy a fancy PC, but to have an actual personal computer just for Bitcoin.
Correct.
So
correct. What I recommend,
you would suggest that as well.
Yeah, you get an old like Dell like this. Used. It doesn't even matter. Get it used. Get it ugly. It does not matter.
But its purpose is just to be involved with Bitcoin.
100%. Nothing else.
No, I did catch that one time. That's probably been before. Maybe while she's on tour.
That's probably the smartest way to keep your
Bitcoin.
Do
it.
Yeah, that is really the smartest way.
Okay.
When you put it on there, though, also make sure that you back up your private keys because there is a possibility that your laptop could die.
Okay, so
right?
When you say back up your keys, so what are keys?
All right. Okay, so the private keys are literally just 12 terms. Dog, walk, circle, 10, 11. Like literally they're just 15 keywords. That's all they are. And you actually, I can't show you on my computer because I do have the wallet on here, but what you do on your wallet is you literally say, download your private keys, right? You right click and download it. When I do the lessons in the kids camp, I'll show that. But what you do is you download you share your private keys, and those private keys, those 12 to 14 words, depending on the wallet, you can lose your computer. You can have no access to any computer. You can move to China, literally download a new wallet, add those 12 words, and you get all your money back.
Okay, so when you say add these 12 words, so each individual would just have their own 12 words?
Correct.
And you create that yourself? And that would be your key?
There's a way to do it. I do not recommend it. What you want to do is just pull whatever they give you, because it doesn't make a difference, really. Yeah. You pull it from the wallet.
So does it depend on what wallet it is?
Yes, depending on what. Now remember, some wallets won't give it to you because we're talking about hot wallets and cold wallets, right? So some of them give you your private keys and some of them don't, right? It's not good or bad. You just have to think about what you're trying to do. If you want to store your Bitcoin somewhere safe, then you want to use a USB ledger wallet, right? If it's like Binkx or Coinbase, right, where you're really trying to just make exchanges, or you're trying to use it like a wallet to buy beer, right? Then you're not going to get your private keys. So you kind of want both.
So you need to have a. I'm so sorry.
Yeah. Go ahead.
So in this case, we are the Binkx.
Binkx is a hot wallet.
It's a hot wallet.
Yes.
This is the hot wallet.
It is a hot wallet.
And we have the private key.
No,
we don't.
you do not. You do not. I recommend that once you get to a certain amount of Bitcoin in your Binkx wallet, you put it into a USB ledger.
Okay.
I literally send out emails to people saying, you need to take your Bitcoin out, you need to put it on a USB ledger because we're not going to hold it for you. It's too much.
So when you say put it on this ledger, is that considered a cold wallet?
That's a cold wallet, correct?
Okay, so the cold wallet is the one that you have your secret keys or whatever on. Now the hot wallet, like in Binkx, they used to have X number of dollars or whatever, and we would use that Saturday.
Correct.
Basically.
Yes.
Okay.
That's
So
exactly
that's
it.
the difference between a hot and
cold
wallet.
wallet.
So the hot wallet would be the one that you might do transactions with.
Correct.
The cold wallet is where you're trying to build your wealth. Okay. Got
So
it.
Coinbase.
I'm starting to understand a little bit more now.
Coinbase is a hot wallet. They don't give you your private keys. As a matter of fact, it's even worse. It's even worse. Check it out. Coinbase, if you look at the,
right now?
that's what I'm getting. So check this out. Coinbase right now, literally in their terms of conditions, sent it out to all their users saying, when you give us your Bitcoin, when you buy Bitcoin from us, you don't own it.
That's it.
You're giving us an unsecured loan. Crazy, right?
That's crazy.
It's crazy.
That's crazy.
You know?
Get away from
Exactly. Me and Naj are trying to do it like so that they don't cheat you like that.
Yeah, right.
It's just imagine that, and people they're literally saying that, look, if we have to file bankruptcy or something, you don't get your money.
Yeah,
right. It doesn't belong to you.
You just lose.
You just lose.
Whatever you had invested with Coinbase.
Coinbase is saying that.
You just lose.
Yeah. So I'm telling you, we're really trying to get you guys to get certain amount of Bitcoin and then put it in a ledger. I want to start soon. We're going to do a big old order on them, probably maybe 100 of them.
What's ledgers?
Of the little ledger USB wallets, and we're going to sell them here. Okay, we're going to sell them for a high price. We got to make some profit out of them because but we're going to start selling them here. Yeah, because it's hard to get people to go online and actually purchase them. So we figured, okay, if we just buy a bunch and we have them here and we say, look, it's $120. This is going to save you. When you're on the spot.
Tony and I haven't bought our ledger. So how far are you guys out from that? Because man, look,
I want to
Tony
say
has been with Najee for a while.
Yeah.
And I rather if I'm gonna spend my money,
Yeah.
I'm spend it with you and Najee.
Yeah.
I'm just gonna be honest.
No, 100%.
I just, I'm really mad. I would rather wait till you guys get it and you guys can make it.
Don't wait for us.
I don't care
Don't
if
wait
it's
for us.
10 cents. But at least you guys make the 10 cents rather than give something Joe Blow. I don't know.
Yeah. Don't wait for us though. Please just buy it.
Really? You shouldn't?
Just go buy it online.
Okay, so
It's called a Trezor wallet. So the little Trezor, TREZOR.
Okay, well maybe after the class, maybe you can.
I'll show you guys where to go to the site, and you guys can order it.
So you suggest that we go ahead and do it now, right?
Yeah. I suggest you do it right now. I mean, even if you have just a little Bitcoin, you don't know how much that Bitcoin is going to be worth in 10 years. Right. So let's say you just put 0.01 02, it's just a couple $100.
Right.
You put that little USB away, and in 20 years, you're like, oh, that's right, I got that USB.
Okay, gotcha. Okay,
So order it.
okay, all right, okay, all right. Well, we
All
talked
right.
about that.
So all of the transactions ever made get recorded on hundreds of thousands of computers around the world. Think about that, right? And when you do a transaction, it gets checked against many of these. Not all of them, but many of these. All right. So Alice broadcast. Now, the reason we say broadcast is because we broadcast it out to the ledger, right? We're not really signing it. Alice broadcast to the ledger network that 5 BTC was sent to Bob. That change gets recorded in every single ledger. So check it out. These are all different ledgers, right? So the fact that Alice sent 5 to Bob gets recorded in all the different ledgers. So that makes it immutable because you would have to hack all these computers, right? Now, it does cause a few problems, right? Wait, but how can we trust that it really is Alice and she really holds and sent the 5 Bitcoins? Well, we use things that are called a digital signature, all right? To fix that problem, we use digital signatures. These are your public and private keys. So a public and a private key is just a digital signature, just another way of saying it. In Bitcoin, we say public and private key, but in technology, in regular programming, we say digital signature. So sometimes people use the other one and it gets confusing. So how does it work, right? We use our private key to sign off on a payment and to create the public key, right? So you can have as many public keys. You can have as many addresses as you want, but you can only have one private key. And we use the private key to create a signature that says that you own it without revealing it. So this signature says to everyone else, oh yeah, I have these Bitcoins and I have the private key, but you don't have to show it to them to prove it by using the signature. Then you use this signature to hash out your public key. And your public key is just your Bitcoin address.
Your Bitcoin what?
Your public key is just your Bitcoin address.
Okay.
That's it. So we're using our private keys to create our public key, right? So your private key is those 14 keywords, right, that we were talking about. Okay. So you can think of private keys as the real password and the signature like the middleman, right, that proves you have that password without having to reveal it, making the public key your Bitcoin address so you can receive, right? So we use our private key and then we sign it to create our public key, which is a Bitcoin address like this.
So the Bitcoin address right here is my public key.
It's your public key, correct?
So, and you say that this one is a hot wallet.
Correct.
And you said that you provide us the private key. Where is the
No, I don't provide. It's a hot wallet, so you don't provide the private keys. Cold wallet is where you do provide.
Okay,
Yeah.
I misunderstood that.
Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah.
in a hot wallet, you guys don't provide the
We don't provide the
key.
private keys, no.
In a cold wallet, we get the private key
Yes.
and the public key.
Yes. We just say hot because it touches the internet. That's really what it means, to be honest. All right. So all transactions are organized into a block, then hashed, right? So we use, I don't want to get complicated, but we use a hashing algorithm called SHA-256. It's literally NSA built. So it's literally built by the NSA. So it's an incredible cryptographic algorithm. You can't cheat it. So what happens is this. We organize each one of these are transactions. We just call them TXN. That's what it looks like. So each one of these is the transactions. Okay. Then we hash all of these transactions into one little bit of code, right? Then we put that and we name it block 78A, and that's the hash. And then we add that to the previous block. So in order for this block to be legitimate, it has to make sure that the previous block, all that information right here, is correct. If this is incorrect, then it denies that block because it's wrong. Somebody's trying to cheat. So this is how we call it the blockchain, because every single block is connected to the previous block by that SHA-256. And where do we get that SHA-256 code? From all of the transactions that were made. That's why it's called the blockchain.
How many transactions can I have?
It actually,
Just randomly.
it's up to, I think, 5 megabytes, which is probably coming down to about maybe 10,000, 15,000. Remember too that this is not Binkx. This is on blockchain. So I want you to understand. So one of the big advantages of Binkx is that we don't have a transaction limit, right? So when you send from user to user, it doesn't matter. But when you send it on blockchain, if there's a lot of transactions that have just been made, right? If there's a lot of transactions that have just been made, you will be charged more for sending your transaction because there's so many. Now, if your transaction gets kicked off because there's so many, then it goes into what's called a memory pool. This memory pool pushes your transaction to the next block. So another miner can pick it up and add it to that block. You all right, Mike? He's watching the All right. So yeah, that's how it works. That's the blockchain. So here's like the memory pool, right? We were talking about that, right? Unconfirmed transactions, right? So what the blockchain does is this: is that if for whatever reason, whether there's too many transactions or actually not enough sometimes, but if there's too many transactions, it goes into this unconfirmed pool and gets brought into the next one and the next one. So sometimes, sometimes they say wait at least 30 minutes to make sure that the Bitcoin transaction came through. People say that. This is why, because your Bitcoin transaction might end up in the memory pool. It doesn't happen often, but it does happen. Okay? Don't worry.
So
this is not a problem with Binkx because we don't have to worry about this in Binkx.
Okay.
Yeah.
So now, when you talk about these transactions, are you talking about when you buying?
No, I'm talking about when you're moving it back and forth.
Like what we're gonna be doing.
Correct.
Okay. So all the transactions that you do using Bitcoin is being recorded.
Correct.
And it ends up in some block. It's gonna
Yes.
be part of a blockchain.
Exactly.
Okay, so what happens, like for instance, my brother, I got so much money invested now. And so, we think about investing some more because, I be listening to Naja, right? It's on sale now, right?
Yeah.
So, got some things going on right now. Once I complete it, then I'm gonna have this excess of money laying around rather than me. Some other things I'm thinking about. Because I still believe
make it work for you.
Even though, there's a bunch of naysayers talking a bunch of bullshit, I'm listening to Nas.
Yeah,
okay?
there's always going to be.
So when we invest some more money, is that going to be part of the blockchain, or is it only with transactions? I mean, in other words, when you buy
your Bitcoin, the transaction of you buying it, then so you purchase Bitcoin, right?
Right.
And the other company or person will send you the Bitcoin, right?
Right.
That's a transaction. So it gets recorded into the blockchain.
Okay. All right.
So then it's linked to your wallet, which says you have that.
Okay. So that's just like we spend money here.
Yeah, exactly.
It's the
same thing.
Okay.
Same thing. Except the good thing about it is that we don't have to wait 20, 30 minutes for it to get confirmed.
Okay.
You can do it that way.
Because your application is going to do the whole thing.
A whole thing for you. Unless you want to do it this way. You can.
Because
if you want.
It's internal, basically.
It's internal. Exactly. It's internal. If you want to do it on blockchain, you can do it through the app, but it just takes 20 to 30 minutes.
Right.
But in order to do it that way, you have to have another application paid with Bitcoins.
Yeah, you would have to have another application anyways. That's true.
You
would have to have another wallet anyways to do it this way.
Okay.
So
that's the advantage that we sign in and with Binkx, and we can do the transactions at that specific commercial local place that they are subscribed as a store that I can accept Bitcoin through the payment wallet. We can do it.
Yes. Yeah. All right. What do you think? It's pretty good, right? Because I know you've been wanting that. So, do you have any questions about that blockchain stuff?
Okay, I have no question. Okay, so when you said about the miners, so
the miners are the ones that organize these transactions, and then they use they use their video card or their computer in order to SHA-256 these transactions.
Okay. Because I know Naja's son
It is a good idea to become a miner.
Well,
if it is, why you haven't yet?
I mined. I did mine for a while. if you're willing to put $1 million
Right,
into
that's
it,
what I'm saying, it costs
you can do
to
it.
be a miner.
You know, because it costs.
Oh, it does?
You just want to be a
Let me
miner.
show you. Let me show you guys.
No.
Yeah, you would have to buy.
No, dude.
You would have
It
to
ain't
buy.
just like want to be a miner and okay, you can be a no, you gotta have some money.
No,
You
no,
would
it ain't
have to
no-
buy about 10,000 of these. You see these right here? So you buy about 10,000 of these. You see, and then these will help. These are the miners, right? But these are probably 10 grand a piece.
See, just like that.
You see? So you use this machine
Wow.
this machine is custom designed to do
To
this.
do that.
Yes.
So the answer to become a miner is you have to have money to invest in the product and then start doing the mining, or
Correct.
so that thing it happens by itself,
You buy thousands of those,
and that thing
And
runs
then-
by itself.
you put it in a warehouse, your electricity costs are going to be through the roof. But yeah, if you do it at that high of a level, you'll make money. Most people want to do it on their little computer at home. That is a money loss. You're not going to make money.
Are there minor companies?
Yes.
If they have miners that.
That's all they do all day. Yep. Now just Sun works for one of them.
That's
matter of fact.
not-
Yeah.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah.
There's sons in Texas somewhere, right?
He works at a company that does that all day. That's all they do. They have thousands
That's
of
all
those.
they do.
Thousands and thousands of those.
Who?
Not just Sun.
Minor son.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He works at a mining company.
Which is a company?
It's somewhere in Texas.
Somewhere in
can't-
Texas, I don't remember.
I
Yeah.
can't remember. But
Yeah.
no, I know that she went to that.
If you want to get into mining, what I would do is I get a mining contract. You can actually make contracts with companies that do mining and say, okay, I'm gonna give you 3,000, okay, and you're gonna mine this amount. You're gonna guarantee me this much Bitcoin, but you don't know the value of that Bitcoin at the other side of that, right? So maybe it'll be less than 3,000, maybe even more.
Especially
So that's
the
kind of the
market
risk.
we're in now, right?
Yes, exactly.
Yeah.
So, and remember, we're talking about huge electricity costs. 100,000, 500,000 a month, $1 million a month in electricity. Yeah, it's real. It's big. So I don't recommend it unless you're doing it on a professional level
Yeah, no, absolutely.
or for fun. You know,
and have some money.
yeah, have some money. You know, so
Really.
all right.
And Najee had mentioned something about somebody they're doing it out in New York, and they offer some classes, but that's only in New York. And Najee was saying that she's gonna try to bring it to California, but that's
I can teach a class to learn how to mine, but the thing is, like, watch out your glasses. I just like I said, I don't recommend it because it's not profitable.
I don't know. I need to get past this.
And you're gonna get a $300 bill. You're gonna get a $300 electricity bill that month.
Yeah, right.
And you know.
Well, I'm learning though.
Yeah.
I mean, this is not just something you just come in and you learn today and go out and start.
No, and to organize your thoughts to kind of make it make sense. It's not. Yeah.
We can remember that bargain.
Yeah. So I was telling you too. Yeah. To get through it. What does it really mean? Yeah. It just means that each block has code that cannot be changed, right? That cannot be hacked. That is linked to every single one behind it. And if even one is different, the whole thing goes away.
Wow.
So this is what made the technology incredible.
Right.
This did not exist before.
No, exactly. Yeah.
All right.
Yeah, no, not just the other day she said, and what I didn't know, man, blockchain was around before Bitcoin.
Yes.
But Bitcoin was the industry, I guess, if you will, if you want to use that term, that opened the door for people. Because I never heard that term blockchain before until Bitcoin.
Only cryptographers, like big, serious cryptographers do it.
Know about blockchain.
I studied. They taught a little bit in college, like cryptography guys. Like, okay, there's this thing called blockchain, blah blah blah. But
Really?
yeah. But they didn't. I didn't take my time. Oh, I can invent a Bitcoin. No.
Exactly.
It took Satoshi or the team of Satoshi to do it. So.
Okay.
All right. So let me play this quick video. You guys see before, but it's always entertaining. Oh, darn it. Let me see. Oh. I don't want to turn it up from there. You guys can hear it, right?
Very.
Okay,
very
that's
little,
okay.
very
Very little.
little.
Let me stop there. Okay. Show. Let's see where my sound is coming from. Sound. No headphone port. That's why. Okay. You presenter style. With any luck right now. There we go.
Bitcoin is a digital currency which aims to do away with all the problems we have paying for things online. You may think that the system we have is pretty good, but everything we buy today has to go through a bank or credit card company who take a cut of the transaction and who rely on our trust that they'll do everything right. After a while, those payments start to build up, and added to that is security. You have to trust your card company to keep your details safe. Many people have tried to work out how to have a payment system without that middleman. But then there's another problem. How do you prove that you've paid for something? Or even that you have that money at all, without someone vouching for you? It's so serious it has a name, the double spending problem. Then, in 2008, a solution was offered. A programmer going by the name of Satoshi Nakamoto. Nakamoto left a paper on a popular cryptography blog which proposed a system of currency that solved all of these fiddly problems. His proposal was that instead of a bank or credit card company recording every transaction in one central ledger, all of the users would record all of the transactions at the same time. As a result, any attempt to fool the community would be noticed and the payment rejected. No one user, government, or bank can force a fee on a payment or control its flow. The result is a cheaper, quicker, and easier way to spend money, even across national borders. So this is Bitcoin, and it's already starting to have an impact on people's lives. Some shopping sites take it. You can buy pints in London and even pay for your university tuition. People are founding companies to buy up lots of Bitcoins. We can trust a digital currency to work without the middlemen. The way the world economy functions could be transformed for the better.
I think that makes a whole lot more sense now that I kind of taught you with how the blockchain is, right?
Yeah.
So it's a trustless system. All right. So this is always a nice chart, right? So in 2010, right, 2 years, even 2 years after Bitcoin came out, it was still worth less than a penny. In June of 2022, at $21,000.
So
Yes, go back. Yes.
So what is the reason? What happened between the December 2016, June 2017?
We believe that it's going to do something. That's the only thing.
But what exactly means we believe? The other currencies in Bitcoin, like for instance, the other kind of Bitcoin,
Like Ethereum.
Okay.
Yeah.
Why it's not worth it? Why people don't believe that one?
Why isn't it valuable?
Right now the value is 10,000.
Yeah. Okay. So
the other one is 23.
The only reason that Bitcoin is worth more than those is because it has something called first mover advantage. It was the first one. That's it. That's the only reason.
What, meaning Bitcoin?
Bitcoin. The only reason is
digital
yes.
coin.
Technically speaking, Ethereum offers more because in Ethereum we can do smart contracts, right? What's a smart contract? Okay, let's get into that. So, right, we have Bitcoin where we can send money back and forth, right? Send value, not really money, but value, right? Something of value to you. Ethereum allows for something called smart. It does that, but it also allows for something called smart contracts. So let's say you were selling me a house, right? And in order for you to sell me a house, I would talk to a real estate agent to set that all up, to make sure the money's good, to make sure all that works out. What if I told you that I could code out a way for him to receive the deed, right? When he signs off the deed, then I get my Ethereum. And it's
I'm lost.
okay. Let me try this. Yeah, Ethereum is like money. It's just like Bitcoin. So it has value. So one Ethereum right now is worth like $1,200. Okay? So
But that's my point.
Hmm?
What is the reason that it works have.
just because we believe it to be.
But that expression is the expression that, to me,
Uh-huh.
maybe the lack of knowledge that I have in this
Uh,
topic. That statement because
Yeah.
Yeah, see,
That's-
is that good enough?
I know. It's kind of scary. I know. That, I'm not gonna lie to you guys.
So you are telling me that tomorrow somebody says,
If-
oh, you know what? I believe Ethereum is the one. So this one is gonna drop at 200, and the other one is gonna be 2,500,000.
One individual cannot have that effect. One individual. But if 100,000 people, right? If 1 million people said Bitcoin isn't worth anything, right? And they were all Bitcoin users, it would go down in value. The only reason it has value is because we believe it. Okay, that's it.
So you're telling me between this, I see the progression
Mhm.
from 2010 to 2016, and it seems a reasonable
Yes.
growth,
Yeah.
and a reasonable increase. My point is, what happened between December 2016 and June 2017?
Okay, you want me to tell you what I think happened there? Because I can only say what I think. Trump. Honestly, that's what I think happened right here. It's Trump. This is why we saw that. That's what I believe. I could be wrong, but this is what I think. Because I think that there was a certain segment of the population that got scared and said, I'm going to put my money in Bitcoin and take it out of the dollar. That's what I think happened. Am I right? I don't know. You know, you could also make the argument that that's why it's happened here.
Yeah, but see, I can see, how my friend here,
Yeah.
He's a little confused, and I am too. Okay, so look, I invested $1,000. Okay.
Uh-huh.
So now, I know, the market is sideways and all of that. Where is the money that I'm losing going? Well, who's getting this money? See, that's what
I know, right? It seems like, yeah.
I mean,
It's one of the big things about this.
Getting that money.
Mhm.
I mean, it's just disappearing out of
No,
the air.
no money is lost. It's only transferred, right? It's like energy, right? So you don't lose energy; it only gets transferred. Same thing here. When you purchased it, right, and that you purchased it for $100 or $1,000, like you said, that person got his 1,000 or his or her 1,000, right? And you got your X amount of Bitcoin, right? So when it went down in value, that change was a change that went to that other person, right? When it goes up in value, then when you sell it, you receive that profit. But the truth is, guys, it only has value because we believe it.
Huh?
The truth is, it only has value because we believe it. So, yeah. Yeah.
Okay. No. I mean, this is a learning process.
Yeah.
And so I just wondered how, the people in the community is going to understand this process if they're not in this class with us.
They're going to come to the party. They're going to sign up. They're going to buy beer and Bitcoin and get excited. And a few of them, are going to be. No, I agree. Are going to be curious enough to actually learn. You know what I mean?
We just kind of, I'm glad about it, so I can learn it because it's not, I don't think it's going to be an easy thing. I mean, it's very easy to say that the value is because we believe it. I mean, how many people are going to believe this?
Yeah.
That
because let me make an argument. Why does the dollar have value? There's a lot of reasons. But we have to believe it, right? We have to believe that when you give me dollars, I can go to the bank and give it to the bank.
I can refuse that.
Yes.
But that one happens in the Second War. When the World War II happened.
Oh, yeah.
All the people that I was forming the alliance, friends.
They got together to make the dollar.
And come to US and say, you know what? I am not even in this territory.
Mm-hmm.
I am across the Atlantic, and I'm gonna save your ass.
Mm-hmm.
They did, and they say, from now on, we're gonna do this. Money is gonna be the international thing. Everybody
100%.
Everybody
And
was like,
it was a good thing. It was a good thing when it was backed by gold, but it's not anymore. That's the real problem.
But it's still, my point is, everybody agreed.
Oh, yeah.
And they were like, Switzerland never got inflation. UK never got inflation. and they were like a 1-to-1. Let's assume 1-to-1 was US.
Yeah.
Let's not talk about South America. That's another story, right?
Yeah. Argentina had some of the worst
I come from
in
Ecuador,
history.
so it was evaluation every single day. But my point is, as a real money, this one was like a 50 years so far, 70 years so far, right? My point is how the Bitcoin, what exactly happens to make that raise. I understand the progression. I understand everybody was into. I understand they bump it up and say from 900 goes to 2800. I got that part, you know. It is a boom right now. Everybody's buying. But you're telling me from June to December it went from 2,000 to 16,000?
Yeah, that's what happened in 2017.
It jumped.
It jumped that high, yeah.
So to me,
in a year's time,
to me, right there, that's speculation.
Yeah, there's some speculation. 100%. I agree. This is a lot of speculation. Yeah.
And four people like the back in World War II, 4 countries or 5 countries decide for the 1 unit global money because that's what's happening. Yeah. It's right now 4 people, 4 corporations, whatever you want to call it, say, you know what? Bitcoin is the one that we have to push, and everybody, you have 1 million, 1 million, 1 million, and every single day you put 1 million, and we increase this $1,000. The other, that's speculation.
I agree. A lot of this, what you see, is people speculating. So a lot of people buy Bitcoin just in the hope that one day it'll be $1 million, which is fine. But the only time Bitcoin will not be affected, in my opinion, by the stock market or governments when people start using it as currency.
Okay, so here's the problem I think too, though. Like what he was saying in terms of those countries back then, that was something that that was tangible.
Yes.
See, man, the problem I think is, man, people, it's gonna be hard.
It's hard. I know.
Go from having $50 to now
this
is a digital.
I agree.
That's really hard.
It is.
And my brother and I have an open mind. But I can see that being a very hard thing to pass on to
I'm gonna tell you guys a little secret now.
And I got your point. You said it before. When this happened with the dollar as a unit, as a global unit, as a currency to the global world, they, even if they BS the whole world, they say we have gold. Yeah. And they can show you. And they did it for a while.
They don't let you. They don't let you do anymore. You can't. You can't audit the Federal Reserve. It's actually illegal.
I do
crazy.
Understand that. But my point is, at that moment in time, everybody was like, okay, you want to lead? Show me the money. Oh, right here is all these places full of gold. Okay, he got the lead. But like you just said, with the Bitcoin.
But even with the gold, especially with like technology, and they show it to us. Did that really exist? You
realize that there's more gold in computers than in the world. So actually, when you go to all these gold exchanges, there's actually more gold on all these exchanges, almost twice as much than actual gold available on the planet.
Really?
Yes, you can. This is not Google it. It's true. It's crazy because people are speculating. Even with gold, I think if you're not having it physically in your hand, do you really own it? Because what happens if that company decides to skedaddle? I mean, it's possible. I'm not saying it's likely, but it's possible.
So basically, the Bitcoin is very good and have a strong market presence because of the speculation and because everybody wants to have Bitcoin.
Correct.
Bitcoin as a crypto moneda.
Yes.
Because the other crypto monedas, they are not even the half of this. No,
and they never. And in my opinion, they never will be. Bitcoin will always be all other altcoins. That's what we call them. All alternative coins are always going to be, in my opinion, priced below Bitcoin, unless there's a coin that comes out that does something incredible we've never seen before, some kind of technological breakthrough. It might go past Bitcoin, but I doubt it because, like I said, Bitcoin has first mover advantage. It was the first one. That's a huge advantage, and it will always be the gold standard.
Okay, so tell me, what's the difference in us sitting here talking about Bitcoin and what it possibly may do is when Apple started. People that invested with Apple, they didn't know that it was going to turn out to be what it is today, did they?
That was speculation. That was speculation too.
It really is. Think about it. If you want to be an argument, right? Nobody knew that Apple was going to be what Apple is today when it first started, or even Amazon for that matter. Because Amazon is everywhere now. I can't go nowhere without Amazon in my fucking face.
If we all knew that it was going to turn into this, we would have sold our houses and jumped on it. Right?
You could have told me somebody in the garage telling me to invest $100,000
in some monopoly money, right? Some internet monopoly money,
right? In somebody's garage.
Yeah, you're saying you're crazy, right? But that's how it starts.
I mean, we can sit here and say, that's a big argument because of where they are today. But when they started, all the people that invested, they were speculating, hoping that it would turn out to be what it is today. They didn't know that. They didn't know it was going to turn out to be what it is today when they started back there in that garage.
Is what I love to do, gamble. That's all it is.
All right, so talking about gambling, let's say we make this deal. That means if you had just invested $99 in 2010, you would have $42 million by June of 2022. I'm going to let that sink in for a second. Yes. You can actually go to this site right here called Bitcoin Cryptoground Bitcoin Profit Calculator, and you can enter any date, and it'll show you what it'd be worth had you invested that amount that date.
Well, see here again. See, people that saw this and believed,
yes,
and speculated,
yeah,
or took a risk at what it may do back then,
yes,
they're happy.
They're happy. There was people that threw away their computers, leaving Bitcoin. Did you guys hear that story about the guy that threw away his computer and he had about 1,000 Bitcoins in it? Now he's over there in the landfill trying to find it.
Yeah.
He bought it when it was even cheaper than that.
I heard that.
Yeah.
I heard that.
So I mean,
really, so
it can happen.
12 years later.
And remember, guys, we're only at the beginning of this. In 10 years, I'll be telling the story about how if you had just invested $99 today, you would have X amount then. You see what I'm saying? So
even though it fluctuates up and
even
down.
though it fluctuates up and down, but as you can see,
you just have to ride.
You gotta ride it out.
Because now, mind you, man, when I talk about Apple, I don't know what has happened between when it started to now. I don't know. I don't know because I didn't invest, so I don't know if it went down and people got scared. No, I had a buddy that invested. They told me he lost $200,000. Well, I forgot what year it was when I ran into him because I just came back from college or whatever. But he said, "Yeah, my God,
Apple was bankrupt at one point.
$200,000.
Yeah, Apple
but believing in something and the shit flopped.
And the shit flops. That's the truth. This is life, right?
And so I feel like that's the same thing now. It's just that whoever you with, and you following,
that's
you have to either believe or not believe. Yeah. And then and then too, I mean, what I love about Nigel is that some people don't invest what you can't do. Even with our first project that my brother and I was involved with, the shit didn't go the way it was supposed to. So yeah, my brother invested some money, but we invested money that we could afford to lose.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It wasn't like, I didn't take the money from paying my mortgage. I know that. Or my savings for my kids' college fund. That wasn't money that I took from. I would never do. Who it is. I would never do that. I don't care who it is.
And that just shows
I'm not gonna do that.
That just shows you the integrity right there. Because to be honest, most companies will tell you, "Yeah, come in, give me 100,000." You know, we don't do that. We actually tell
you. That's what I picked up with a 9. She said clearly, only invest what you can afford to lose because you don't know, and nobody knows.
And nobody knows exactly. That's what I'm saying. And we, like we said, we want self custody. That's what me and Najee promote. We say, look, we want you to take self custody of your Bitcoin. Put it on a Trezor wallet. Don't leave it on exchange. Don't leave it on a hot wallet. Because guess what? It's not yours. And if the exchange happens to close down like Celsius just did, money's gone. So we teach self-custody here, which in a way kind of hurts us because we'd all love to collect it. Give us $100,000, we'll hold it for you. Well, who doesn't want that? But that's not the right thing to do.
Wow. That's 42 million.
Crazy, right?
Yes, man. Now the white paper, man, is that just to explain everything
Yes.
to you or make it more complicated for you? I mean,
No. I had to study it for like a month to get it. No, I had to. It was hard for me. Yeah, I had to go back to my algebra skills and everything. It took me a while to really get it. It's not simple. Yeah. All right, so let's keep going. So here are already some companies that are accepting Bitcoin, right? Cheap Air, Etsy. You can even use Virgin Galactic, so you can make your reservation to go to Mars or at least space.
Well, I mean, look, man, that's a thing of the future, right? And Bitcoin's a thing of the future, right?
So why not?
I can see that happening.
And hundreds more are coming.
Dish accept Bitcoin because I mean that's who I am now.
Mm-hmm. They use a company called Alexa, I believe. They offer something that we want to start offering at Binkx. Actually, we're working on it. What they offer is
Overstock does.
Overstock does as well. Yeah.
Man, I can see myself trying to Bitcoin. You know, I mean, I ain't never bought anything from it, but they have a lot of stuff.
Yeah.
You can buy.
Yeah.
Really? More companies I've never heard of.
All right, so Bitcoin is great, but how to use it? Let me show you the Binkx.com wallet. Okay, so this is El Salvador right now.
El Salvador?
This is El Salvador right now. There's a picture of El Salvador. Okay. So do you or someone you know own a business that would like to accept a Bitcoin as payment? A cafe, flowers, a portable food stand. If you know somebody that can do that, right? They can sign up with Binkx and start accepting Bitcoin, right? Soon we'll have cool little signs with Binkx on it.
Okay,
Just like
okay.
Mm-hmm. So no, that's the question. Yeah.
Okay, so let's stop there. Okay, so so I have $1,000 invested.
Mm-hmm.
Right? Of course, it's not that now, but if I wanted to go to that cafe there,
yeah,
right, and I want to get a burrito and a Coke.
Yeah.
So how does that work? You mean, and so let's just say that it's $9.95 for the burrito and the Coke.
Correct. So
how do I use that?
The merchant will create a QR code.
QR code. What is that?
Oh,
okay.
Yeah. Let me show you.
No. I'm just wondering. I mean, I don't need to know that. The person needs to know that, right?
The person, you don't need to know that.
Okay.
The person needs to do that. So what you'll do is you'll take your phone and you'll scan that QR code. It automatically will say, okay, this is how much you need to pay. You'll accept to make the payment, and the payment gets sent.
Okay, but now, so how would I know how much was abstracted from? On
the Binkx app, there's receipts.
Huh?
On the Binkx app, there's receipts.
Okay, yeah, no, but my point is, how do I understand that $9.95 of money that I've invested with Bitcoin was abstracted, even though I know it's not $1,000 now.
Yeah.
I know it's lower than that. But how do I know that? I mean, so my point, I guess, what is $9.95 equated to Bitcoin?
Oh,
is it?
Yeah, it's confusing. I know. So what we do is this.
So what? You understand?
I understand.
Because what is this? $1 million? The top in the Bitcoin?
No, I understand. I understand the question.
But see, I don't think what we invested in was not. See, bro, we need to go with Blink up his company, not with the money we already got invested.
Oh.
See, so that's what I'm gonna do tonight.
Okay.
Is put some money in his company, so when we
And
go Saturday to buy a drink. Now I still don't understand that process. I don't know what $9.95.
Okay, so
but it's not gonna come out of that money that we invested.
Okay, I get that part.
Yeah.
Okay, so
you're gonna show up with like $20. I'm gonna put it in your account, and then you're gonna go buy your beer. That's what's gonna happen. It's that simple.
Okay, so
it's a hot wallet.
Okay. So Tony, do this. Let's say you put $100 on there, right? And we go Saturday, and we just bring half a bunch of money, and we end up spending $56. So the next day, are we gonna see $45 left on your wallet because we spent $56 of the $100 that my brother just put with you?
Yeah.
Then we'll see $46 balance for Tony.
If you're holding it, you'll see $46 in Bitcoin value, right? So
exactly. Because we had $100 in value.
Correct.
Before we went to the store,
Yes.
we went to here.
Mm-hmm.
But me and my brother, we like to drink, so we might spend $56, right?
Mm-hmm.
But I'm saying the next day we'll be able to
see it in
that,
there. Yep.
that we got a balance of $44.
100%.
Okay.
So that's what I'm looking forward to doing it. I gotta know how this works. So is there gonna be a receipt you know how you go to the bar and
Yes.
you pay, he give you a receipt and all that. Is that gonna happen too, or it's only gonna be?
You know what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna walk you guys through the transaction process when we finish it, so you guys can actually see it. You'll see it on the night, but I'll show it to you so we can, and we'll send some money back and forth. And then it'll be fun. No, it's true though, so you can see it. Yeah, for sure. For sure, I think so. Let's do that. We'll go through the app for sure.
Okay,
I'll show you guys.
Okay, so here you said if somebody want to accept.
Yes. So if you know someone, right, then you can tell them about it, and I'll show you guys how you earn commissions off of that, right? But this is one of the ways that you can get involved in Binkx Bitcoin. Okay. Here's another way. Do you provide a service like plumbing? Get paid in Bitcoin, right? So you can actually register your business with Binkx, and our users can find you and know they can pay you in Bitcoin.
Wow, man, that's interesting.
You see, so if you got friends that provide services, register them on the app.
But now, okay, that's gonna be really okay. But no,
Yeah.
I got you. No. That's because
But no,
everybody
but no, I mean the vendors that we know, which we know a lot, right? If they just signed up,
right.
that doesn't necessarily mean that when we call on a particular project, whatever, that those people are going to use Bitcoin. But if they have Bitcoin and want to pay our vendors, they can. If they want to pay cash, they can still pay cash, right? Because that's what they're used to, right?
I'm leading up to, right? Okay, but then that's cool.
You follow me?
Yeah, I do.
So in other words, I'm saying we're going to have an option.
Yes.
You know, if you still want to pay with what they call it, fiat money, or
Yeah, you can play with dollars through the app. Remember, the Binkx app uses dollars.
Or everything in this, in this space, Bitcoin, they can use Bitcoin to pay our vendors. Right?
That's literally it. Yeah. All right. So another quick video. Now, this video describes the marketplace, right? So right now you can put right when you took that picture of the mask, and somebody wanted to buy it, right? So you can put things up for sale and get paid in Bitcoin. So let's watch this quick video. Everyone has stuff around the house they're not using. Why don't you sell it? Like a video game, guitar, or a camera. Buy and sell your stuff for dollars and Bitcoin at Binkx.com. That's Binkx.com. Right? So that's three ways, guys, right? We can approach businesses. Businesses can start accepting it. We can also services if someone's like a plumber or a personal trainer, right? And you can sell your own personal items.
Yeah, right. I got you.
All right. So, keep going. Cool. But what's in it for me, right? Let me show you. So let's say Hector here has a guitar he wants to sell, right? So he's thinking, who can I sell it to? You know what? George wants a guitar. Let me call him up. All right, George, I'll buy it. Right? He tells him, I've been wanting that guitar forever. So he sends him the Bitcoin through the Binkx app, right? He obviously receives the guitar. What if I said you could earn commissions for these transactions every time just for sharing Binkx? So the first commission we have is this one. Each person you tell and they sign up with you, you get $5. Cool, right? So this weekend, if you guys, want to get your drinks for free, hang out where I'm telling everybody and signing them up, right? Because I'll have this out there with lights and everything. And so I'll let you guys hang out there and be like, oh, sign them up real quick. Get you $5. And this next part, right? So now, get you $5, everything's good. So how does this work, right? So let's say that you got your plumber, right? This guy, right? He owns a cafe, she has the portable food stand, the flowers are from this girl. So you got all of these people that are signed up and they're doing businesses or services, right? Either or. So every time that they make a transaction, you'll receive a tiny commission residually every time they do it. Now, this next slide I'm going to show you is not going to happen to you. It's just an example. It's in a perfect world, but it shows what's possible. Okay? So I don't want you to take this one literally, right? So you get all your commissions. And this is actually where you see it on the app. There's actually a commissions tab on the app. So if they do transactions in dollars, you'll see your commissions there. If they do transactions in Bitcoin, you'll see your commissions there. These are people you told about that use the app. which you gave out for free, right? So what is possible? Okay, so this, like I said before, I want to be 100%. This is a perfect example.
Okay, but now I'm sorry, Richard. So even if they sign up and they use cash, you still
If they use cash, you still get a commission.
you still get it?
Yep. As long as they use the Binkx app, you're getting a commission.
Oh, just long as you use
Yeah.
the app.
Yeah.
Wow.
So they can use cash or Bitcoin.
Oh, I thought this had to be Bitcoin.
No. Either or.
Oh, either or.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
All right. So now I use cash as an example because it's easier to kind of use it mentally than trying to say Bitcoin, right? So here is how it all breaks down, because there's always people that, well, I know the exact numbers. Okay, here it is. In this example, right? So Hector here has his 4 friends, right? And each one of them spends $100, right? Just 100. Now imagine if you get a restaurant started, are they going to spend more than $100? Probably, right? So if each one of them spends $100, right? 1% of $100 is $1. Now we divide it by 7, so that means that's 14 cents. So if each one of them spent $100, 14 cents times 4 is 56 cents.
Right.
Residually, you didn't have to be there. They just did it. So now, in a perfect world, if these 4 told exactly 4, right? It'd be 224. If these 4 told another 4, another 4, another 4. That would make it that if you add them all up, that's about $3,000 every 2 weeks. If that were to happen in that perfect scenario.
In a perfect scenario.
Yes.
Gotcha. Yeah.
So look at it this way. You get paid 7 levels down below you, and you get basically 1% divided by 7. Look at it that way, because it's 7 levels, right? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. And those are people, the plumber. The plumber is collecting his money through Binkx, and you're getting a little bit.
That makes sense.
So if you think about how much the bar is going to do on Saturday, you guys sign up a bar, you're getting all of those transactions. The guy that actually signed him up, that introduced me to her, he's going to get all of that, all of those for every transaction they do.
Right.
So it's nice. It's real good. All right. So the benefits, right? So it's easy to use. We're going to go through that right later. Purchase Bitcoin with the credit card, right? Person to person, no merchant or bank. Cash out anytime. I put this in the middle, cash out anytime, because people don't realize in this space how important that is. We call that liquidity, right? So liquidity is so important because there's a lot of other groups that are doing nefarious things where they'll tell you, I'm going to sell you my crap coin, right? And it's worth this much. And guess what? How are you going to turn it into dollars? You can't, right? So you actually can't cash out, even though your that coin is worth X amount of dollars. There's nowhere to turn it into dollars. In Binkx, you can literally say, I want to withdraw this much. You get an email, you direct deposit. Okay, it's very important. It's one of the, if you go into any other exchange or something, that's the question asked. Liquidity. What's your liquidity like? Can I? How long does it take for me to get my money if I want it? All right. Universal currency, right? Bitcoin. Use Bitcoin in any country. We went over that. Create a monthly residual income. It's actually bi-weekly, but create a monthly residual income.
Can I ask?
Sure.
Let's imagine I have my Binkx and I have $1,000 there in Bitcoin.
In Bitcoin, yes.
And I go to UK and I go to a bar and that bar accepts Bitcoin. Can I?
Yes.
That?
Yes, you can.
I just read the QR.
No. In that case, what they would do is they would tell you this is our Bitcoin address, and you would use Binkx, and you would say send using the address, and you send it to them.
So
Or
when I
using their
say
address.
send,
Using their address, which is outside of Binkx. It's on the blockchain.
Right.
Yeah.
say one more time the last
Okay, so the transaction you're talking about is an on blockchain transaction, right? So you're gonna now remember it takes, because we talked about the block, right? So it's gonna take 10 to 30 minutes for the block to, right? But
my point is how I do the payment.
yes,
I just go to send, turn on my camera, and read the QR or no?
hold on, let me, because I want to show you guys on a technical way here on the app. Hold on, because you would literally, all you would do is, you have the app on you? Is it open? Oh, perfect. Okay, here we go. So send, use addresses. here you would paste their Bitcoin address.
How I gonna get the Bitcoin address is that low?
Yeah.
So there is no way for me to pay because chances
Yeah.
are that I'm gonna be drunk and I'm gonna type.
Yeah.
So then how I do
Yeah.
this with a QR?
Yeah. I can't. Like the thing is, that's on them. Like you see what I'm saying? Like I can't. Yeah.
And you know what? Remember when I told you
Yeah.
about we was going on the cruise?
Yeah.
And I was wondering if we would be able to use it on the cruise. Well, I didn't see nothing on the cruise. That's basically what he said. We wasn't out of the country that far. We just in Mexico. But it wasn't there.
Yeah.
So I was just wondering, because it's kind of like what he's saying. I mean, I ain't gonna be in America, but we was on a little cruise. But I don't think they've gotten to that point yet where they was accepting Bitcoin on the ship.
Yeah. No.
You know what I mean?
They want a merchant like Binkx to do
so.
that. That's what they want. They're gonna want a merchant like Binkx to do that. Watch. They're gonna want someone to call. They want someone to call. That's what it is. They just want somebody that can call and yell at if there's a problem.
I was just wondering, man. It seems like this is the way of the world.
Yeah.
I don't see why not.
Yeah.
You know, it's like today when you went to the airport, we can't even use
No, man, just give me an example now. I took my daughter to the airport because she went to Chicago today, right? And so we get there a little bit early, and she wanted to get some lunch. So she went to Chick-fil-A.
Chick-fil-A.
Right? And so I said, well, I just want a sandwich.
Yeah.
And I wanted a mouth, but they didn't do mouth in the airport, right? So she got me a 7 or whatever, right? And she got the chicken nuggets, right? But anyway, first I said, let me give her 20. I probably more than $20. It was $26, but I gave her 30. But they don't take cash at the airport no more. I didn't know that. And so in other words, they took the $30, but then they give her the $40 back. Okay? And so my point to you is that everybody's getting away from cash money. Now that I took my daughter to Magic Mouse or whatever. They don't take cash.
They don't take cash either. Yeah.
So man, we actually getting away from cash.
Yeah.
And
100%.
digital currency is on its way. Because man, that's the second or third time I done got confronted with. We don't take cash. And man, now they took it, but they didn't give me no change back. So anyway, I paid $30 on 2 sandwiches.
Damn. It happens. Like it's the truth. To answer your question, right now in Japan, not here yet, they're implementing QR codes that hold. Okay, thank you. That hold the BTC address. Now it won't work through Binkx in the sense that you'll use your regular camera, and when you use your regular camera, it'll show you the Bitcoin address, and then you can copy paste.
Well,
That I have seen, but yeah, the technology's not quite there yet. To do it like that everywhere. Like
well, and the thing about it, man, I think, man, they're training people now. Just like, man, we was on the cruise, man. We went to little fancy restaurants, right?
Yeah.
Oh, dude, man, they don't give you no fucking menu now.
No.
You gotta use your camera.
You gotta use your camera to scan the QR code so you get the menu.
Now, right? I was like, what?
Kind of shit is. I know.
Well, you're gonna have to, then.
Yeah.
They know how to do it.
Yeah.
That's all they do, man. Our kids do, man. But I mean, really, man, that's where the world is leading, though, man. I mean, really, man. I know you're talking about this, man, but I'm telling you, man, I've heard about, man, it's gonna be a cashless society about 15 years ago.
Yeah.
But now I'm seeing it being implemented slowly.
Yeah.
And so digital currency, I mean, the way of the world. Because I've been hearing about there's gonna be a cashless society or physical money is going away. Yeah. And I'm seeing it slowly but surely. It's affecting me personally as a personal person, in 3 different scenarios.
Yeah, because
this year. This year.
I liked paying in cash too sometimes.
Well,
I'll be honest with you. I like the privacy of it.
That's all you've known.
Yeah. We grew up,
I could have gave my daughter my credit card because I had it with me because I had to pay for the parking when I left.
Yeah.
I gave her cash. Why? Because that's what
she looked at you like you were crazy. Right?
You know what I mean? Really, that's what I'm used to doing.
Yeah, I know.
I haven't gotten past that yet.
I know.
I have not gotten past that yet, dude. That's the first thing I got for was my money.
Talking about that change, I'm going to give you guys an inside scoop. I told them earlier. Right now, I'm working out the contract with the company. I'm not going to say the name, but with a company that is going to allow us to have an actual debit card with the Binkx logo on it that you're going to be able to go to the store and use as debit.
Really?
And it's going to all reflect onto the Binkx app.
But it has nothing to do with Bitcoin?
Yeah, you'll be able to spend Bitcoin and cash through a debit card. Yep. I'm setting it up right now. So it's happening. It's happening. So, you know, we're working on it. It's just about a month of like, you know, testing and all that. So we're doing it. We're doing it. So that's happening. I want to do that because even though it's going to be real hard, I want to do it because it's as frictionless as possible. It's what we're used to, right? We're used to going in our wallet and paying with a debit, right? That's the truth. So why fight it? Why not just use that to pay Bitcoin? Honestly, I mean, you know, I'm not trying. You know, I want to change and win, but I'd rather win. Yeah. So that's happening. We're working on that now. I'm meeting with them next week. So just to let you guys know. Okay, great. But when, right? When are we going to be able to actually, you know, buy our beer in Bitcoin, right? This Saturday, July 30th. Right. We invite you to the launch of Binkx.com, a platform helping business to accept Bitcoin just like Cheers Bar and Grill. And yes, she's going to be there. Okay?
Yes, indeed. Okay, so man, let's do everything. So man, I'm gonna let you help me, man. I need to put something on Binkx now, man.
Yeah.
I ain't gonna wait until Saturday.
For sure.
At least I have it. So
you have it ready.
You guys here,
For sure.
I have something on it where I can buy something.
Now check out these videos we shot of the party. Cool, right?
So that's the name of the
Cheers Bar and Grill. Yep, that's the name of the spot. There's the address and everything. So
you're gonna be able to buy, you know, food and drinks. Right?
yes. Yeah. All right. So what is the big picture? Why are we doing this, right? The community we built together will allow us to approach businesses large and small to accept Binkx as a payment service, just like Venmo, PayPal, Square, and Apple Pay, and many others, and you will profit. Because in order for them to get started, they have to sign up with somebody. Okay. So this is something that I talk about every time, but this blew my mind. You know what happens? It hurts a little bit, right? But it's gotta hurt a little bit because you know what, life is hard. You know? Yeah. So let's go through it quickly so I don't hurt too much. Right? So of 100 college graduates that were tracked from ages 25 to 65, where did they end up? 1% ended up wealthy. That means that they were rich enough where they didn't have to worry about money, you know, 100 million in the bank, somewhere around there. You know, something pretty, you know, big, right? 4% are financially independent.
Only 4%.
Only 4%. That means that they lost their job, right? If they lost everything, they could live off of the money in the bank. Only 4%.
That's crazy. That's unbelievable.
It really is.
It really is, man.
5%. That's it.
That's where I need to be.
Yeah. That's why we're here. That's why we're here. That's the truth. So here he is, right on the plane, enjoying life. You're somewhere.
Yeah.
All right. 5% are still working at 65. Right? We seen them. Right? We got to Walmart. We see the guy at the front saying hi. We feel bad, but he's got to make his money.
But you know what? That little extra money helping him.
Right? I promise you, he did not think he was going to be working at that time. None of us planned for that.
He's not having his goal.
Not at 25.
Yes.
And all that, right?
Yep.
Not at 25. Right?
25. So 36% are dead. They didn't make it to 65. We've all got friends that didn't make it, right?
Well, absolutely, man. Absolutely.
So
That's a big percent.
now, I'm going to ask you guys. I may have asked this before, but I'm going to ask you guys an anecdote. When do you think? At what time and what day of the week do you think people have is most common to have a heart attack?
On Monday.
Yep. Monday morning
Is
at
that
7
right?
o'clock. Yep. Yep.
Yes,
Yes, no, it's all right. People are going to jobs they hate and getting heart attacks about
Man,
it.
they hate it.
Yeah. Monday morning.
That's what they call it. Monday. What is it? Monday blues or something like
Yeah,
that.
yeah.
Right.
Yeah. It's crazy, right?
Wow.
And heart disease is the number one killer. So,
Yeah, right.
all right. 54% wish they were dead. They're dead broke.
54%.
So 95%.
That's
Are-
a horrible statistic.
Yeah.
That is a
So this is the truth that we're fighting, guys. This is why I do this. This is the truth we have to fight
that
against.
is
Okay, life is hard, life is rough, and it does not give apologies. We have to fight to end up here.
damn. That is really crazy. Now this is actual.
This is a college statistic. Like this is a study made.
This is a study.
This is a study that took over 3 decades.
54
Yeah.
They're dead broke.
Yeah.
So that's 90% of the whole thing. So what? The other 5? What happened with the other 5?
No, that's
No,
100%.
that's it.
Yeah.
Oh, that's
Yeah.
it right
Yeah.
there.
Yeah.
Oh, that's
Yeah.
it there.
They didn't even make it 10 years.
Okay, the 95 that was before the
Dead broke, not dead, but dead broke. You might as well be dead. Dead broke.
We need to put that money today because
You'll be done.
Absolutely. Wow, that's a crazy statistic.
Right?
Well, man, that's a sad commentary.
Yeah. I want to say this because when I learned this, when somebody showed this to me, I was like, "Oh hell no! I don't want to. I'm not going to be there. No, not going to happen." So, okay, and that's basically the presentation for today. Let me help you set up your wallet.
Mine is already
Yeah. So let's let me go ahead.
Let me go. Now, what I need to do, man, is just to put some money on Binkx so
Yes.
I can have some money
Yes.
on Saturday.
So
Okay.
wait, give me whatever you want to put in, and I'll put it on your account right now.
Okay. Yeah, so man, how much you want to put 100 on there? Yeah, just put 100, man.
Okay.
Around me and me and my brother.
I have to disconnect this while I do it.
Yeah, because I just want to be ready, man. When we
Yeah. Oh no, thank you.
Oh.
Yeah. Let me go ahead and broadcast.
Oh.
Yeah, me and that broadcast. We don't need to share all that.